What is going on, y'all? We got a much needed balance patch, so let's check it out. Basically just going on an overview of it very quickly. We got some quick fixes to free match to where now the settings are more universal. They're 300 seconds, there's no restrictions on the location. We got some obvious bug fixes to a lot of characters like Ichigo, Uryu, Yama, all the names that you can see down below here. Aizen got a crazy buff to where now he goes into his awakening much faster and he goes into his second form much faster, so that's going to be a bit of a problem, but we'll see if they keep that for the next one. I would say nerf the fucking Aizen. That's just me though. Byakuya no longer has infinite. It does appear that the big Bankais took a bit of a nerf though, because Sajin and Renji both now no longer get a full health buff when they awaken. Now it's more of a percentage based situation, so that's going to be really interesting for them to see how that plays out. It looks like Rukia got an overall adjustment to her damage for certain guard gauges, and she can now cancel out of certain techniques. Izuru also can follow up with certain techniques as well, so that makes him pretty much more well-rounded. Also, Ikkaku looks like he got a bit of an adjustment and a buff. When we look at characters like Tosen, he got a much needed adjustment, and I'll talk about him in just a second because they did not explain everything that you see here. So I'll explain just that in a moment. When you look at Neliel and Mayuri, you can see that their Keycone moves have been fixed and they've gotten some obvious bug fixes. A lot of people have had combo adjustments to where now you can properly combo. So you'll see a lot of these names that they can do so. Stark got a big fix, so now you can probably use Stark a lot better. Seems like he had a lot of problems. And so that's pretty much a gist of it. There's some characters that had some issues with their spiritual pressure techniques too. Mostly I don't see anything about the one, but I see a few characters had their spiritual pressure techniques too that just weren't working properly, like Tosen now and Hallibel. Ironically, characters that I used. So now that we have all of that out of the way, let's go into what they did not talk about. And of course, my man Uryu got some good buffs. He's got some combo extensions now from his breaker that he didn't have before. So we got some overall good first patch. 1.04 is looking like, you know, it's pretty good. I've played a match or two, and so everything's feeling pretty smooth so far. But the big thing I wanted to highlight that it did not talk about is my man Tosen. Check this out. So with Tosen, if you can see him. You couldn't see him before. Before he was invisible and you could see like a ghost of him, but you couldn't actually see his outline or, you know, his character. And so you had to kind of just guess and, you know, figure out where he was and kind of memorize everything. Now, I thought this was something that was kind of just lore accurate, and it was just like, okay, well, we're gonna have to accept that. But it may have not been intentional on the dev's part to make him invisible. Now, from the opponent's perspective, you can be seen when you get very close, but if not close, you end up showing up as invisible, and so you can take advantage. You can obviously see your opponent, and you can kind of just wait and predict what they're doing. So also, you did get a fix to where his special flash attack does work now and can be combo extended into more. Just wanted to highlight something that I saw here that was not being said in the patch notes. That was actually a pretty big change, because now Tosen's actually very viable. Now he's very usable in situations. He was already pretty fun, and you know, I've seen some good players that can make the most out of him, but now you can get good with him, and he's actually just a good overall character. It's not just you have to be good at the game to play. So overall, all that said, let me know what you guys think down below. If you found any sauce that hasn't been mentioned in the notes, let me know down below. And what do you guys think about the patch? I want to know. So write that comment down below, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.